Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Michael Ginsburg joins us. He's candidate for State Senate District 15. Here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Gear up for the 105th Reno Rodeo at the Double R Marketplace and experience the biggest little shopping adventure in the West. With over 100 vendors, you'll find everything from Western attire to home decor to tasty treats. Open every day during the Reno Rodeo at the Livestock Event Center Indoor Arena and South Exhibit Hall. The Double R Marketplace, Thursday, June 20th through Saturday, June 29th. Plus, shop online anytime at renorodeo.com for Reno Rodeo merchandise.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're pleased to welcome to the program for the first time Michael Ginsburg. He is a candidate for State Senate District 15. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And you're a Republican. In that race, you've got a couple of opponents on the Republican side, and then on the Democratic side, Naomi Durer, who's a Reno City Councilwoman, and Angie Taylor, who's an Assemblywoman. So it's going to be quite an interesting race. How's the fundraising going?
It's going well. I got a lot of people behind me, a lot of people supporting me. I originally got into this saying that if I had the support, I would do it. And I got the support behind me with the Lieutenant Governor endorsement, the Republican Senate caucus behind me, Senator Dr. Titus, Senator Hansen, and Heidi Gansert is behind me. So,
who was the former occupant of the seat.
So it was without these people behind me, and there's great people behind me, so it was like, you want to go do this? Let's do this. So.
Have you talked to the governor?
I have met the governor. I have not talked to the governor. I've talked to the people that are the conduit to the governor, so that's about the extent of that.
Okay, are you looking for his endorsement?
Yeah, I'd love to have his endorsement. So they said it's coming at any time, but I still have yet to see it. So I'm still moving forward with it. It's not like it's going to stop me, whether I had it or not. It's something that we're moving forward with, so I'm full steam ahead.
All right, so looking at your website, you've done a lot of public service over the years. You want to name off your top three favorites?
So currently I am the chairman of the Parks and Rec Commission for the City of Reno. I've been the chairman of the Neighborhood Advisory Board for Ward 1, which I termed out last July. I'm the vice president of Collin Ranch Homeowners Association. This week...
Because she's kind of like the Summerlin of Northern Nevada.
Yeah. So this week I'm also the meet director for NIAA, which is Nevada Interscholastic Athletic Association. So I'm the meet director for the state or the regional swim meet in Carson, starting Friday and Saturday. So,
and you were involved in the aquatic center,
yeah,
right?
So
that's going on in Moana Lane. For those in Southern Nevada that don't know, this is what is turning out to be a huge aquatic facility that's replacing an old and very run-down facility. But it's right next to the soccer fields, and I guess one of my joys
on a Friday night driving home is to go past there and see that place just packed
finally.
with kids.
So that probably is the feather in my cap. So for the last 16 years, I've been involved with Sierra Nevada Community Aquatics, who is the nonprofit that's been behind pushing to get this pool open. So I was the president for the first 5 years, been on the board for the last 16 years. So without the Pennington Foundation coming forward with a $9.5 million grant, I don't think we'd be seeing that pool built currently. But
Right.
so it was, it took a lot of time, and it, even during, we started, I think, 2006, 2007, 2008, the economy tanks. We're thinking, hey, this is a super easy thing to do. Everybody's going to want a pool built, because the last pool built in Reno was 1976 at Northwest, which is off of Kings Row. Last pool built, and I know that Moana Pool was built in the 60s, so we just failed on our infrastructure there, and this group has been persistent, and we finally got it built. So every time I go into it, I went into it last week for a tour, and every time I go in, I smile, just thinking, finally. We didn't think it was going to happen. It finally happened.
Obviously, you've been involved in the process. So, does it concern you if you get elected? You go to the legislature. That's going to be an interesting place to be for 4 months.
I'm not afraid of anything. It's really perseverance. It's really about sticking it out. That's really about the bottom line of this campaign, is that me and my wife have been doing triathlons for 31 years. So I liken it to a triathlon where you have to have endurance, right? It's a brand new experience. What I'm doing now, I am not a politician. I've been employed by NV Energy for the last 39 years.
Doing what?
I am a distribution design manager. So in a nutshell, what that is anybody that needs a meter or needs a new panel, we figure out how the power is going to get to them, whether it's overhead, underground, transformers, overhead lines. We do the designs. We do the parts and pieces, the estimates, and then give the customer the contract. So I've been involved with the development community for 39 years. So I know a lot of the builders. I've designed a lot of the subdivisions that are in town. So been around a while.
All right. So, and you've been part of an NDA? I'm sorry, the Builders Association.
Yeah, Builders Association, Northern Nevada. I've been partners, through NV Energy. I've been an associate member there, probably 30 years. The Associated General Contractors, or AGC, been a member of that.
So what do you think about the growth in Northern Nevada? I think any place in the world would look at what's been going on in Northern Nevada since about 2005 and go, wow, we wish we had that here.
I'm going to step back a little bit here. So my family came here in 1914 to Senate District 15. So 110 years ago, the family came here. They opened up Ginsburg's Jewelry, for the viewers that have been in this town a long time. Home furniture way back in the day, which got bought out by Brunner's. So we've been in this area for a very, very long time. So as a child growing up here, I've seen growth. I've seen it because I've been part of it. But I always reckon the Reno area to a hidden gem, right? It's hidden. It was hidden. Reno 911 was a great TV show because it made Reno look bad, which kept people from coming here. But it's grown. And I think the development will continue to happen because it is a great place. And we have a lot of big development. You have the big manufacturing out at Tri-Center. You've got
Well, you've got Tesla, obviously.
Well, you got Tesla. You've got the
Switch, Google.
Google.
Pretty much it's easy to name who's not there at this point in time.
Right. So basically, the big development's happening. It's bringing a lot of business. It's bringing a lot of growth. It's bringing a lot of people to the area to work in these jobs. So yeah, we're going to grow. So yeah, you're going to see it. It hurts a lot of people because, even I have lunch with my sister and my father every Tuesday, and we talk about. Our fun thing is to reference what used to be there, like the Dairy Queen over by Reno High School, or it's like we reference things that are old, and everything does change, and sometimes it's for the better. But I think what's coming now is the development, and it's making our city better, from the pool to schools, getting new schools built. So it brings stuff. It brings diversity. It brings the economy. It brings the money. but it also brings the people, which also brings the growth. So you got to have, it's a domino effect. It's the betterment of the community. But it's no, I don't really think it's going to be like it was back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s.
Well, I hope not. I mean, I came in '78, and at that time there was angled parking on South Virginia Street downtown. And, you know, I've seen the photographs of what it looked like in the 50s and 60s, which was great in the 50s and 60s. If it looked like that now, we'd either be a movie set or we would be dead.
Right. And you wouldn't have the, I mean,
preserve the history, but I mean, you've got to rebuild. I mean, I think Las Vegas figured that out a long time ago.
Well, you're also seeing, the other thing that it brings, growth brings, is traffic problems, right? I think that what you need to do is forward plan. I think a lot of the stuff we've done has been just in the moment, repairing things, widening things, but not thinking 10, 20 years down the road. What is it going to look like? What are we going to... Another thing, like from NV Energy's side, is that we never thought 10 years ago, 20 years ago, people had smaller electrical panels on their house. Now they have EV chargers in their house, which then has a strain on the grid. Now you've got to harden the grid to make sure that when people plug in their EV vehicles to the grid, that we can handle it, right? So this is some of the stuff that we never thought about. You never thought about electric vehicles back then. What's coming next? What is the next big thing?
Well, that was only on the Jetsons.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the reality, you know, of progress. Well, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about this and more issues after this time out.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology like this electronic eye that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you because trucks move America forward.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're talking with Michael Ginsburg. He's the Republican candidate for State Senate District 15. Education. Obviously, the governor threw a ton of money into education in the last session. $2 billion plus another $250 million. And education is back. The unions are asking for more. When you ask the number, it's always another billion. Your thoughts on that? And, you know, one of the candidates was on the program and said that it takes time for this amount of money to work through the system, so you're not going to see the results right away. What are your thoughts on that and more money in next session for education?
Well, I'll start by saying that education is very important. I have 3 daughters. They all went through Washoe County School District schools. My mother was an educator. She worked at Reno High School for 30 plus years, so I've seen it from that side. I've seen what I think what we need to focus on is some of that money needs to be put towards the salaries of the teachers, because you need to be able to attract teachers to that career. And I think what you see is that the teachers do it for the love of the game. And the reason I say that, I bet you more than 90% of the teachers have put money back into their own classrooms when they probably aren't making a lot of money anyway. So I would say I think that's one of the priorities we need to look at, is giving teachers better salaries so it attracts more people. I think that we need to have accountability in the schools. I think the teachers need to be accountable. I think that...
In what way?
Well, I think that it's a domino effect. And I'll say this, I think the teachers need to be accountable. I think that the parents need to be accountable. The administrators need to be accountable, and the community. Because what you're doing is it takes a village to grow a student, right? Or somebody, because these students, as they go forward, are going to be put into our workforce. Like we mentioned earlier, this workforce is coming, whether we want it to, whether you're an old Reno person and want it to grow, you want this city to grow, but this is coming. Development is coming, buildings are coming, careers are coming. And we need to make sure that these students are prepared for this work world, whether they're going to be running it as a CEO, or they're going to be manufacturing, they're going to be working the line, whatever they're going to be working. We need to make sure that they're ready. So the reason I say accountability is to make sure, if you have one teacher that's not into it, it could affect that child's education down the road. So it's a volleyball term. I used to play volleyball, and it's called better the ball. So if somebody passes you the ball and it's a bad pass, you make the next pass better. So I'm saying that we need to make sure that we're bettering that student down the road. The next teacher picks up that. It's the individual students that we need to focus on. I think
so bottom line is that you're not as concerned about giving more money. You're okay with giving more money. You just want to see results from that money. But the question is, how soon? What's realistic?
Well, realistically, so now you talked about infrastructure, right? Infrastructure takes a while to build. So yeah, I would agree with it's going to take a bit, because you need to do the architectural, you need to do all the permitting, all that stuff could take 2-3 years before you even start
Actually,
building.
I'm also talking the results from the money that you've already invested in this last session. I mean, is it something that we should wait a year for? Is it something that we should wait 5 years for? And in the meantime, be putting more money into it?
So there's different steps to it. So infrastructure is going to take a while, right? It's going to take a while to get it through. The results you could see right away is increasing teachers' salaries to keep those teachers from leaving their jobs with Washoe County School District. Like I said, my mother taught for 35 years and retired. How many teachers are retiring as teachers? I see a lot of people that used to be teachers. Also, I think that we need to focus on making sure that children get to go to the school that they want to. You shouldn't be defined by your education, by your zip code.
Okay, so you're talking charter schools?
Right. Charter schools, any way to improve the education, whether it takes, to be able to take that money to be able to move it around, charter schools should be included. Anything that can help. It's a lot of that money, like you're asking, the question is how can you get it spent sooner than having to say that it's going to take a while for us to get down the road? Well, I think right away you can increase teacher salaries. You can make sure that we're bringing in more teachers. Some of it does take a while to happen, because you can't just throw money at something and it's fixed right away. Some of the things you can fix right away, but some of the things you can't.
All right, let's take another break and we'll come right back. More with Mike Ginsburg after this timeout.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
Hit the open road with a truckload of cash free play in one of 3 luxury travel trailers during the $250,000 travel time giveaways. Thousands in weekly giveaways plus $7,500 in grand prizes guaranteed. And a new travel trailer or $35,000. Now at the Carson Valley Inn.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful. Brian Culpa Photography was born in the rolling hills of Massachusetts, and now he can help you experience the stunning beauty of Nevada in a whole new way through the power of flight. Flying has always been a passion for Brian, and at Brian Culpa Photography, he can make your imagination soar. Brian has the creative mind and tools to tell your unique story. Experience the bird's eye view at brianculpaphotography.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Michael Ginsburg. He is candidate for State Senate District 15, which will be quite the fight, both in the primary and in the general. One of the things you talk about in your on your website is public safety. What are your issues in reference to public safety, and on a statewide basis rather than just a local basis?
Right, so it's basically about respect for our law enforcement. So,
do you think people don't respect law enforcement?
I think so. I think in some cases they don't. I mean, you're seeing it on TV now with the campus riots and stuff. So yeah, I would say yes. So I'll explain. So I have my middle daughter is a parole and probation officer, works for state police in Las Vegas. So I'm invested with that because my daughter is a law enforcement officer. I think that we need to get behind our law enforcement agencies, whether their partners, the agencies themselves, to make sure that we respect them. I think we've lost a little bit respect in the community. My oldest daughter works for Aqua Metals, which is a battery recycling, and then my youngest daughter just a year ago graduated med school. She's doing her residency in Nevada. So I've kind of got it covered with my children. I think I hit everything with from renewables to police to medical, and so I think I have a vested interest in this. So a lot of what I think, I've seen my daughter go through the academy. I've seen my daughter, be an officer. She tells me the stories of she works with the best of the best, is what I like to say, right? So these people aren't really, she can't trust a lot of people. So just watching her in her day-to-day, what she reports back to us, what has happened. So I think there really needs to be a respect. What you see on TV is just crazy. So.
All right. But the big question is always the difference between the right to protest, but not the right to be disruptive in a sense of stopping other people from doing what they need to do. What would you like to see, happen with these demonstrations? Is law enforcement taking the right track? Are the university presidents taking the right track? Or do you see something different that needs to be done?
I think you see it in its purest form at the beginning of any protest, right? And then what you'll start to see is what we're seeing on TV now is people with masks on, people that have no idea what the topic is. People have no idea. They're just there to have a good time. They're there to raise mayhem. And you're starting to see that. I think once a protest goes, a day or two, you'll start to see these people come in. We saw it back when BLM, or Black Lives Matter, when downtown riots. You had the peaceful protesters in there, and then all of a sudden the kids come down because they think, hey, this is a great idea. Let's start throwing rocks. Let's start causing mayhem. So I think the police we need to have a police presence. That way the students realize that, yeah, you can go ahead and protest, but keep it civil. And the second we start to see the bad blood coming in, that's when I think they need to call it. So,
staying on a semi-law enforcement track, marijuana lounges, are going to become more populous over the coming years. You've got the federal government now looking at rescheduling marijuana as a drug. Having raised 3 daughters, what are your thoughts on this and how Nevada should proceed?
I would say I would agree with the idea of marijuana not being that dangerous. Remember when we made it legal here, everybody thought the sky was going to fall in, and the sky didn't fall in.
It's amazing how it didn't fall in.
Right, and it didn't fall in. It's the same with alcohol. It really likens back to alcohol. And by making it more legal throughout the United States, the less you're going to see it trafficked, the less you're going to see those drug cartels being able to push it across the border, making it illegal. The more stuff you make legal, the less likely that people are going to take advantage and have cartels, have people selling it illegally when you can go get it legally. If it's, we've found out that, you know, this guy didn't fall in.
And the fact that, and I didn't really realize the tax situation. I mean, I knew that these dispensaries were not able to deduct lots of things they were having to deal, and are having to deal in cash. I didn't realize just how big of a gap there was between legal and illegal in terms of the potential to actually make profit. And it's stunning how big the gap is. But that's where we have to leave it, because we're out of time. I wish you good luck on the campaign trail, and we'll see what happens here.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome, and we'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Turn your clunker into a caddy during the Cadillac and Cash giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Weekly cash drawings including $5,000 cash and one top prize of $10,000. Win the grand prize of a Cadillac CT4 or $40,000 in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Calamity. It lurks around every corner. Or not. That's why UMC Quick Care is around every corner, with locations around the valley. UMC Quick Care, for all your small calamities.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can catch us online 24 hours a day at nevadanewsmakers.com, or you can download the podcast wherever you like to get your podcasts. We'll see you on the next broadcast.